It's 6 o'clock, and we'll call the meeting to order. If you will please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and stay standing for the invocation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I was tasked with watching 3 grandchildren, small, for a few hours, and I knew I wasn't allowed to bring them home. So I thought, what would we do? And then I remembered, what did I used to do with their dad? So we went to Critters and did some window shopping. By the way, Wally Gator is gone. I don't know if he got out or if he was sold, but he's not there. And then we went to the comic store. And I said, you could get one thing. And for $16, 2 hours later, we had a blast. So many heroes to choose from. But then I said, we're not done yet if we're talking about heroes. And we drove by the municipal building, the police station, the fire station. I said, this is where the real heroes are. The people I'm looking at now, the people you're looking at behind me. So on behalf of the kids, their families, and people like me, I'd like to say thank you and pray for you. Lord, we give you praise because we have a chance to do something good. And Lord, I thank you for people who are doing something good. So bless them, lead them, guide them, protect our city, I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor. Michael, if you'll call the roll, please.
That is my exact routine when they were younger, my son. Critters, Big Ben, so God bless you. I'm sorry, Madam Mayor. Councilman, it was just like, I'm not the only one. That is, Councilman Marcos.
Here.
Councilman Blevins.
Here.
Councilman Schlack.
Present.
Councilman Valerius.
Here.
Councilman Lloyd.
Here.
Pro Tem Lally. Present. And Madam Mayor.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. I have a motion to approve the agenda for this evening.
Motion, Mayor.
Motion by Mr. Lally, seconded by Mr. Schlack. Any corrections or changes? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. May I have a motion to approve the minutes
Motion,
from the
Mayor.
regular meeting of January 10th? Motion, please. Motion, Mr. Schlack. Second. Second by Mr. Marcos. Any corrections, changes? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Now we come to presentations.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Another good day. I love these, you know that. Today I had the honor of seeing Mr. V, Dan the Man, funeral service with the honor guard there. It was amazing. Earned that right. I met Kenneth Cowan at an honor guard school in Alpena, and I'm always recruiting. So we've hired some great people in the last year, 7 lateral transfers. Officer Belknap, I think, had 14 years experience before he came to us. Kenneth has got that beat. So we honor those people that have that experience beforehand with a hash mark. So he's walking in the door with 4 of them. I can't wait to see him get his 5th here. So before he served 20 years at the Wayne County Sheriff, he did 20 years in the Marine Corps. Was in Korea, Japan, Cuba, many distinguishing medals, good conduct medals, 6 of those, Humanitarian Service Award, NATO drill instructor, Sea Service Deployment Ribbon, 7 meritorious distinguished medals, and as well as, like I said, being on the honor guard, a lot of different units of Wayne County Sheriff. We're really happy to have him here. So one of the things we do is we honor not only years of service, but also awards. He has awards that he got from Wayne County, but he's starting off with us with a ribbon for being honor guard, as well as serving our country. So, Kenneth, if you come up here. And his wife, Danielle, is going to pin his badge on for him. You want to come up, please? You want to go ahead and do that? We'll see if you can do it without stabbing him. You want me to? Yeah, there you go. Those are for you. You got more coming when we go to your awards, so congratulations. And Kenneth decided he wanted to start his career at Allen Park on Martin Luther King Day, which I think is awesome. So we want to welcome him. Mr. Clerk, when you're ready.
All right, you don't have to repeat after me, just at the end, say, "I swear, I do," or "I affirm," okay? Excuse me, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Michigan, and that you will endeavor to secure and maintain an honest and efficient administration of the affairs of the city of Allen Park, free from partisan distinction or control, and that you will perform the duties of full-time police officer to the best of your abilities, so help you God? I do. All right, congratulations.
Officer, yes, we've gotten to a routine here where everybody escapes before we get a chance to say anything, and then we are hoping that they watch comments later, but we're going to start off. I think I'll start to my extreme right with Councilman Marcos.
Wow, what an impressive resume. Thank you for picking Allen Park, choosing to be here. I mean, it's an honor to have an individual like you with such a great background. I'm just happy to have you here. Thanks again for being here with us. And thank you for all you've done for your country.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service, and thank you for choosing Allen Park, and just keep up the good work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can't say more. I mean, your resume is impressive, and you're impressive from what I've heard, so thank you for choosing Allen Park, and thank you for your wife to allowing you to come back and serve here, and all your service that you did in the Marine Corps. You're the hero. The police department, the fire department that serve our great city, you're the heroes. It's no way, any shape and form, I don't feel like anyone up here feels like they're heroes, but I know you are, and you're going to serve our community well, and thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Kenneth, welcome home. And seems like you're gonna be all right over here for Allen Park. And welcome to Allen Park. You were all over the world. You were a Marine. I was a Seabees. But I know how you feel. Welcome home. And thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate. I think maybe you've already got this is an amazing community, and it's because of people like you going out there every night, putting your life on the line for us, and we very much appreciate that. And Danielle, thank you so much for. I can't imagine. I imagine those are stressful nights. So very much appreciate you and letting us have your husband to keep us safe. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Of course, going last. I thank you for your service to our country and for the county and now the city of Allen Park. I know, and I'm writing stuff down here, but your wealth of experience, knowledge, willingness to serve others and protect all is inspirational and appreciated. And as well to your wife, we thank you for your daily sacrifice as the wife of a police officer. And we welcome the opportunity and invite you here. And we're so appreciative that you're going to be serving our city of Allen Park. So thank you. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Well, I'm last, and all I can do is repeat what's been said, but we've chatted a little bit beforehand. We're very pleased to have you here. I think you will find this to be a very welcoming community, and I can't say enough about you and the other officers that we have on hand, and I think that Chief Egan is creating a very good team, and you can only move forward when you've got good teamwork, and it's obvious from your experience and background that you know what that's all about. So thank you again. Very much appreciated.
Yes,
Glad to have you.
Thank you.
And thank you.
He finished at Quantico too, and those Marines are tough on that day, let me tell you.
Thank you, everyone.
And thank you to your wife very much. Second act.
Good evening, Mayor and Council, residents of Allen Park. Just a couple items on the report back for the administrator's report to Council.
The former dry cleaner on Park Avenue has been sold, and the new owner received a grant from the DCC Brownfield Consortium for up to $15,000 towards a Phase 1, Phase 2, and a BEA. So very good news on that, and very happy that we were able to help him get the grant through the DCC. Through the efforts of the DDA and the DDA Administrative Assistant Lauren Bielek, Allen Park will be the host of the 2023 Taste of Downriver that's scheduled for August 15th. And prior to the meeting, I got hot off the presses here. It was a press release that Mr. Katie had in his computer there. Taste of Downriver is coming to Allen Park. Downriver's premier tasting event. Sample signature items from the best eateries in Allen Park and southern Wayne County. Enjoy a relaxing summer night while indulging in the delights of Downriver. With friends and colleagues, come as a group or enjoy a night out with your family. Walk from eatery to eatery, eat under one tent, enjoying the best of our region. Tentative date again is August 15th from 6 to 9 o'clock, and more details will come to follow. So that's very exciting news for the city of Allen Park. Over the holiday weekend, Ice Arena was very busy with 32 hockey games as part of a couple different tournaments there. So they were being the activities that they had going on there. Nice to see that a busy weekend again. I think they may be looking to that again for the President's Weekend as well. Recreation Department was also busy changing out the old lighting in the community center gym, and they installed new LED lighting. And then our fire department, they were busy getting size for new turnout gear. That was part of a $130,000 grant that was received. I believe that might have been a grant that was part of a Downriver Consortium grant as well. Regional grant with a number of different communities, so we're very pleased to be part of that. And just want to recognize a couple of employees that are going to reach milestones here with the city of Allen Park. Adam Begley in the police department, 15 years on January 28th, and Eli Fatilia, 20 years, January 30th. And also the city hall will be closed on Monday, February 20th for President's Day. Items I passed out for the council, the schedule for the budget is attached, and then there was also a training update for departments that are going to be taking some training here in the next couple weeks.
Take a motion to accept and file the report. Motion by Mr. Lally.
Support.
Supported by Mr. Blevins. Questions or comments?
Question, do we know what's going to be built in the former cleaners?
I've heard some speculation. I don't want to say out front, just because I'm not too sure if it's been approved or not. The new owner is a Detroit police officer that's nearing retirement. I think he just was looking to redevelop it. I've heard maybe as a social hall, but I'm not too certain if that's the final development or not.
Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. We come to public comments. Anyone wishing to come up and speak may do so at this time. You are limited to 4 minutes, and all we ask is that you give your name and the street on which you live. We do not want the exact address. You're now open for public comment. Seeing as no one is coming up, we are closing public comment, moving on to consent agenda. Tonight's consent agenda consists of purchasing actions, claims and accounts, payroll report, and a license and permit for a handbill permit for Rene Linares for Fast Flyers. May I have a motion, please? Motion. Motion by Mr. Lally.
Second.
Second by Mr. Valerius. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Resolution 1, resolution to appoint Benjamin Hughes to the position of Allen Park DDA and Economic Development Director at an annual salary of $72,500 plus benefits consistent with other city department heads, and that the costs associated with this position will be shared 80%, 20% between the DDA and city. Motion, please.
Motion.
Motion by, Mr. Marcos.
Second.
Second by Mr. Lloyd. Does anyone want to,
I'm looking there to maybe have the chairman of the DDA come up and say a few words on the process that we used.
Mr. Kibbe, honorable council, and other officials. It's risky always, even when you say a few words and you invite somebody who's been an attorney up to the podium. I will try and honor our city administrator's request. I just want to say 3 points. One is that this was a collaboration between city administration and the leadership of the DDA. First, in determining that what we needed in the city was a combined position of both DDA Economic Development Director and bringing something in that the city has not had for many years, which is City Economic Development Director. Second, that a search committee was formed, again, with representatives both from city administration and the DDA. It interviewed a number of candidates. Background checks, resumes were reviewed. Mr. Benjamin Hughes was the unanimous selection of the committee. The DDA at its meeting earlier this month unanimously approved and is recommending to this council that resolution to engage Mr. Hughes. Mr. Hughes has a great background in at least 3 states in economic development, both in public economic development, working with municipalities, and in private economic development, working for companies, working with municipalities. In addition, he is just finishing up his tenure as an employee of the Allen Park Public Schools. He lives nearby in Dearborn. He knows a lot about Allen Park. And I just want to say that we, the DDA, are excited and pleased to bring him aboard and move towards the next chapter in economic development for all of Allen Park. And Mr. Hughes is here with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone have any comments or questions?
Just want to comment that I was at the DDA meeting when they last met and anonymously approved Mr. Hughes. He went over extensively his resume, experience, asked questions they had. I was very impressed with what I've heard. I look forward to, if appointed, to work alongside him in my capacity as DDA liaison as well as economic development chair. So 2 roles which he's going to fully take on as part of the city if appointed. And I look forward to working with him extensively and hoping for the very best in the future of our city and hope for a good relationship to start right off the bat if appointed. So with that, that's my comment. Thank you, Mayor.
Any other comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Welcome, Mr. Hughes. Would you like to come up and say anything at this point?
Well, Mayor and Council and Mr. Kibbe, I want to thank you, all of you, for your support. Councilman Schlack, thank you as your DDA liaison and economic development. I'm definitely looking forward to working with you and all of you. In the brief discussion you did hear, I'm a resident of Dearborn. And although my resume may indicate to you that I spent a good portion of my public sector career outside of the state of Michigan, where I was working in New York State and Wisconsin, I am a Michigan native and was very happy to return back in 2010 to public service. And as was mentioned, I have been in the private sector, a little bit of the nonprofit, but I've always had a desire to come back into public sector and to finish my career. I come from a family of public servants. My father was a longtime school superintendent in Dearborn. My mom was a social worker downriver for an agency called First Step, domestic violence help agency. I've got a sister who's a public school teacher in Troy Public Schools and a brother who just recently retired as a sergeant in the Wayne Police Department near Redford and Inkster. And I have always been an admirer of Allen Park. And I say that not to pander to you or to try and tell you something that I think you want to hear. I promised during the interview committee one thing you can always trust with me is honesty. And I think the community that exists in Allen Park the combination of incredibly strong neighborhoods, a public school system that is recognized across the state of Michigan as being top-notch, and your business community, the downtown area, the fact that buildings that are, original, many of them, to Allen Park's founding, have been preserved and taken on different uses, as well as some of the newer developments. We talk about the Hill and so forth, that when this opportunity to wear two hats and come into Allen Park presented itself, I knew I was ready to come back into public service. And as long as I am fulfilling your expectations, and as long as I am doing a good job for you, in your opinion, I can stand before you today and say with confidence, at my age, I would be privileged and honored to end my career here. I am not by any means looking to come for just a couple of years and perhaps go into something else. I want to be part of this community. A proud father of a 10-year-old daughter, and she and I want to be here even more. So I thank you for the trust you have in me, and I don't know if I've ever been more excited to be part of a city government, as well as the DDA. I view them as complementary organizations who can definitely work together for a joint objective, which is just improving and continuing on the great success that you have. So I thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Move on to Resolution 2, to approve the fire department to enter into, wait, did we vote on that? We did. Sorry. Lost track of time. To enter into agreement with Merchants and Medical Credit Corporation Incorporated for debt collections. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Blevins, supported by Mr. Marcos. Somebody want to explain what this is? Chief Can?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. So the fire department transports patients as a paramedic advanced life support agency to hospitals, and our transports are billable. We normally will bill insurance companies, Medicaid and Medicare, but occasionally there are co-pays and occasionally there are private pays. And also, if the insurance company deems the emergency not to be an emergency, oftentimes the patient would be billed. And while we have a company called Acumed, which is an excellent company, and we've been doing business with them for years, doing our normal billing and collections, and also work with hardship cases. So in the event somebody has either the opportunity that they can't pay or can only make a partial payment, those opportunities are always there, and we always pursue those well before it goes to collections. I was examining the amount that goes out, which is, it varies from year to year, but sometimes up to $100,000 annually goes to the collections agencies. And that we had an opportunity to improve the percentages of collection and an opportunity to reduce the commission that this new agency, Merchants and Medical, takes. I have a very good relationship with Acumed with regard to, I think they're one of the best customer service departments around, let alone in their business, but they could be a model for any business. And I reached out to them to talk to them about their reference for this company, and they spoke very highly of them. So I'd like to give them an opportunity to impress us and see if we can collect $5,000 or $10,000 more per year. And also, some of the things that they talked about to me when we were talking about switching agencies was how they are a family, third-generation family company. They use the word help 3 times. I know that sounds corny, but they want to emphasize to the person that they're not coming after their life savings, that they're there to help and prevent them from having a scar on their credit, and yet making sure that the city is made whole, or at least given an opportunity to make an offer and so forth. So that's why I'm presenting this before you. I think it's a move with prudence that would allow us to be as efficient as possible with people's money.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions?
Through the chair, do we need to cancel the contract with
Arbor? Once this is approved, I will making notice to them as well. And I don't want to burn the bridge, if you will. And I do have the contract for Arbor. I can review it with you. It is cancelable. Because let's say we found out we've made a poor choice, we could always go back to them. They are still in business and they still do a decent job. I just think we can do better.
Sure. And then, like you and I spoke, this contract, I reviewed it, there is one paragraph that needs to be deleted, paragraph 8.
Yes.
So if it's approved, I would ask that it be approved with the understanding paragraph 8 will be removed.
And paragraph 8 speaks to the fact that a municipality cannot, our attorney found out by reading it that he's pointed out that a city cannot indemnify a corporation, and that's what they're asking for in number 8. And so I've already reached out to them. They're gonna reach out to their compliance officer, that they don't believe it's going to be any problem whatsoever. But should there be a problem, I'll reach back out to you.
Do we need to amend the motion?
Because the attorney stated it, I did. Because you're not amending the motion, you're approving it, but I'm just gonna make sure we put that part of the motion.
Okay, so
And the
we don't need to do anything further.
The contract was attached to the council agenda so that they could see that.
Does anyone have any questions? Mr. Marcos?
Is the basic reason for this move cost savings?
We don't really have costs to bear with it because.
Returns.
Returns, that's correct, revenue, yeah. So we're always, while our primary basis is safety and customer service and excellent medical care, somewhere in the neighborhood, and I'd have to bounce it off Amanda, every year it varies, around $700,000 of revenue is brought in through our ALS services. And that just offsets costs. That's not profit. That doesn't cover all our costs by any means. And if we can add 5 or 10% to that and continue to support the department, that's what I'm looking at fine tuning.
Primarily revenue.
Revenue, this is a revenue enhancement without any costs.
Very good, thank you.
Any further questions? Thank you. Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank
Motion
you.
is carried. Resolution 3, to concur with the recommendation of the Festivities Commission and approve the expenditure for a new flagpole at the Champaign Park Blue Star Memorial from Rocket Enterprise Incorporated for a cost not to exceed $2,000. Motion, please. Motion by Mr. Lally.
Second.
Second by Mr. Valerius.
Through the chair, this item here is just to concur with the recommendation from Festivities. As part of the CN Rail grant that we received, the $25,000 grant, we have a need to replace the flagpole at the Champaign Park. And this funding will cover that expense. That flagpole, while being purchased by Festivities, will still be rededicated to the individual that it is already named for. And I don't have his name, I apologize. But that flagpole's already been dedicated to somebody, so we'll just switch the dedication flag over to the new flagpole. And I did lay that out to Festivities so they're aware as well. And if we need to put Festivities on there, we certainly can. I'm not too sure, I'm seeing some head shaking in the back, so I'm not too sure that's necessary.
Does anyone have any questions? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Resolution to approve the intergovernmental agreement with Wayne County for the work completed on Oakwood Boulevard and I-94, Wayne County Work Order number 47074. Motion, please. Motion by Mr. Lally.
Support.
Supported by Mr. Marcos. My understanding is that this is catch-up billing by Wayne County for work that they performed a couple of years ago on Oakwood. Does anyone?
Through the chair, if I may, that is correct. This was work that was done approximately 2 years ago by Wayne County. They now have new administration working in the Department of Public Services, and they're doing some catch-up in order to be able to have their files correct, our files correct. I believe they also want to be able to bill correctly, more so probably bill correctly. But this was work that was actually done, like I said, a couple years ago, and it involves both the city of Allen Park and the city of Melville. This was a portion of roadway, approximately 350 feet, I'd say, between the rail trestle and the entrance ramps to I-94 at Oakwood Boulevard.
Anyone have any questions, comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That has carried. We will now move on to council comments, and this evening, Mr. Lloyd will begin.
So, start off, we are expecting some snow tomorrow, so first, a big thank you to our Department of Public Works. Obviously, those are big days for them. A lot of work that goes into it to make sure that our roads are clean and clear and safe for our residents. We were just talking about in the back that's our first priority. So, big thank you to those guys, because those can be long days, and then as well to our police and fire, who are also out, obviously with rough conditions. To everybody else, just make sure that you be safe, check in with your neighbors, take care of one another. It's gonna be big events. To our students in the room, Mr. Darga's already assured us that we're gonna have school tomorrow. We are going to have school tomorrow. So, drive safe to school and come back, all right? Yeah. So I hope everybody has a great evening, and good night.
Thank you, Dan. Mr. Valerius.
I just wanted to start by saying thanks again to Officer Cowan, as well as Officers Begley on his 15 years of service, and Officer Fatilia on his 20 years of service to Allen Park. And also thank you to Mr. Hughes. Congratulations, and you're joining a remarkable team here in Allen Park, and we look forward to working with you as well. Also just wanted to thank everyone for reaching out to me. My dad passed away on Tuesday evening. I just wanted to say thank you for everyone who reached out and offered condolences with that.
Thank you. Mr. Schlack.
Thank you, Mayor. Just gonna kind of say what my colleague said. Be safe tomorrow and help people out if they need help, if they're struggling, or stay warm, ultimately. And definitely congratulations again to Officer Cowan, those who reached the milestones of 15 years and 20 years. That's quite amazing. So hopefully we keep on turning out great officers to join our department, and who knows, maybe a firefighter here or there soon. Mr. Hughes, I already said my comments. I look forward to working with you. And with that, I yield. Thank you.
Mr. Blevins.
All right. First off, thank you to the festivities for the flagpole. It's gonna, it really was neat over there at Champaign, and to anyone that residents for donations can go, and any little thing helps it to for the memorial, either Vietnam and Beyond or the Champaign. Go to Parks and Recs if you would like to donate to that. Also, thank you, Mr. Hughes, for joining Allen Park. Again, you have a great team, Lauren, Fred Frank, and the DDA. I can't wait to see what comes in this future for this year. Keep on supporting local businesses. A few things I wanted to mention from some residents that messaged me recently to look with our roads, and I know some people would be like, well, my road's worse, my road's, but again, I just wanted to make the comment to look into on Quant between Belmont and Jonas, and I went by there, I'm assuming it's probably a water situation because there's a sewer right there, but it's been crumbling for quite some time, and also some lovely potholes on Inglewood by Becker, just to look into. So again, some residents messaged me about that, and I just wanted to make sure that was informed to the right people. And to anyone that ever has a situation or has some type of comments, you can always come to me, and I will, as working midnights, even at 2 in the morning, I will email back or message back or make sure. And I know there's some residents out here that if they ever had a question, I always made sure to respond back. But that's why we're up here as your representatives. And as always, just take the high road and always stay positive for this wonderful city that we live in. And with that, God bless, and I yield.
Marcos.
Again, thanks to Officer Cowan for joining the Elm Park Police Department. Ben Hughes, can't wait, excited. Was at your presentation at your the DDA meeting where you introduced yourself to everybody. It was great. You were well informed. You questioned. You have been around the city. You looked. You talked to people. Very impressive. Look forward to having you here and getting things happening. Other than that, I don't have a whole lot. Again, my usual thing is I really appreciate when citizens come to our meetings. Wish you'd come more. Wish more would come. We look forward to it. We enjoy it. We welcome it. We need it. It's important to us. And on that, a little later note, January 24th, so everybody knows it's Beer Can Appreciation Day. Oh. So have at it. Thank you. Good night.
Mr. Lally.
Thank you very much. I think everybody said exactly what I think I'm going to say. But I just want to give my biggest sympathy for me and my wife and my family for Councilman Bolera is dead, and he's in a better place. May God bless him. Second of all, I want to welcome on board Benjamin Hughes. You'll be an asset to the city of Allen Park, and you got a good people behind you that helps you. Use them. Yes. Okay? And I want to thank Kenneth Cowan for joining the Allen Park Police Department. It looks like he's a great man. He's been around, and I think he'll serve this city well. And I want to thank the festivities committee for taking care of the flagpole. Thank you very much. And before I say anything else, if it snows tomorrow, the KFC is still open. We're doing the Italian night. $15 for a nice big plate of pasta with sausage and peppers and onions and a salad, and maybe some desserts, maybe. And I thank you very much for coming. I'd like to see more people, just like Dennis said, and God bless to the people who's going to work with this precious weather. Be safe out there. Just like Danny said, be safe. Your police officers and your firemen, especially now in the winter. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you, Tony. Mr. Mizzy.
Thank you all for coming out. God bless you and good night.
No announcements, eh? Okay. Well, I will be brief. I don't want to be redundant. We are very happy to have the new employees. We're always pleased to get someone on our police force, and I think we've been doing a little hiring in some of the other departments. Yes, obviously tomorrow I think the stress is going to be most on our DPS department. And I would make this comment. I don't know if we will be declaring a snow emergency, but regardless, if you could please keep your cars off the street. It will enhance the ability to salt, to plow, and those of us who have garbage pickup tomorrow definitely will be off the street. But again, anytime we get a snowfall that's probably going to necessitate some plowing, it makes it a lot easier, particularly on some of our roads that are dead ends, where a snow plow really can't get down to turn around if there's cars parked. Please be considerate. I know that we've, excuse me, had a lot of sadness to deal with lately, and I don't know if anybody saw. Recently, I picked up, we had another centenarian here in Allen Park, a woman named Myra Brazo, who turned 100 on January the 5th. And as usual, council members, I have sent her a letter from all of us congratulating her. If you have an opportunity to read the article that was in the News Herald, I anticipate that we will probably be sending Myra letters for several more years to come. She seemed to have led a very active life, worked until she was 88 years old, and drove until she was 94, and she looks excellent. Thank you all for coming, and I will ask for a motion to adjourn. Motion by Mr. Lally, supported by Mr. Marcos. All in favor, say aye. All opposed. Motion is carried. We are adjourned at 6:40.